Our story begins with a little bunny named Judy. She's performing in a school play with her classmates. Her parents are watching her proudly from the audience. After the play, they try to convince her that becoming a police officer is a tough dream because no bunny has ever joined the police force in the city. But Judy confidently replies that she doesn't mind being the first and that she believes she can make the world a better place. Her parents suggest she stick to farming and selling carrots just like them. But Judy doesn't pay much attention to their words. Suddenly, she hears a commotion. An aggressive animal is bullying some small creatures and stealing their tickets. Judy rushes in to help them. The fox mocks her and asks if she actually believes in what she's wearing, pointing out that there's no such thing as a bunny cop and that he, as a predator, could easily hurt her. Judy bravely says she's not afraid of him. The fox scratches her face and knocks her to the ground, telling her to remember this moment the next time she tries to stop him. Some little sheep run over to check on her. Judy reassures them she's okay and hands them back their tickets. They thank her happily. Judy holds on to her dream and enters the police academy. She graduates at the top of her class, filled with pride. Her parents, however, are worried about her being assigned to a large and distant city called Zootopia. Her father warns her about predators like foxes and bears, reminding her of the fox who hurt her when she was little. Judy explains that it's not about the species, it's about personality. There are bad rabbits just like there are bad foxes. She assures them she can handle life in the big city. Her dad gives her a bunch of self-defense tools for protection, but she tells him she doesn't need all that. She heads to the train that will take her to the city. She hugs her parents tightly before boarding. Once Judy arrives in Zootopia, her landlady welcomes her and shows her the apartment. Judy greets her new neighbors politely, but they respond coldly. Still, Judy remains optimistic and excited about her new experience. She puts on her uniform and heads to her first day on the job. At the police station, the receptionist is amazed to see a bunny joining the force for the first time. She asks him where her desk is, and he points her in the right direction while continuing to eat his donuts. Judy enters the room where officers receive their daily assignments. The chief walks in and starts handing out cases. He gives the important missing animal cases to her colleagues and assigns Judy to parking duty, writing tickets. After the meeting, Judy introduces herself to the chief and explains she graduated top of her class and wants a real case. But he insists that parking duty is important too, and that she needs to prove herself first. Determined to succeed, Judy heads outside and enthusiastically starts giving out parking tickets to every car violating the rules. While working, she spots a fox walking suspiciously down the street and entering an ice cream shop. She follows him, and inside, she sees a grumpy elephant ice cream vendor refusing to serve the fox. Judy intervenes, insisting the fox has the right to be served like anyone else. The elephant reluctantly agrees. But when the fox realizes he forgot his money, Judy pays for the ice cream and gives it to his little son, who's dressed in a costume to look like an elephant because he admires them. The fox thanks her, surprised and touched, saying it's the first time someone in this city has treated him kindly. Judy replies that she hates the way animals mistreat one another. But later, Judy finds out she was tricked. The fox had taken the giant ice cream, melted it down into smaller popsicles, and sold them. He even sold the sticks again separately. He'd used her kindness to make money. Judy confronts him, but he laughs it off and tells her that this is just how the city works. He calls her naive and says she came from a small town with childish dreams. He tells her she's just like all the others who come to the city thinking they can make a difference. Then he assures her that she'll never be a real cop like she imagines. Judy returns home heartbroken and disappointed after her first day. She calls her parents to reassure them, but doesn't tell them the truth. She pretends everything is great. The next morning, she heads back to work. Other animals are annoyed by her because she keeps giving them tickets. Suddenly, someone rushes up to her saying he's just been robbed. Judy immediately chases after the thief and alerts a fellow officer to call for backup. Despite successfully catching the criminal, her boss scolds her harshly for leaving her assigned post. Judy defends herself, saying she caught a strong thief no one else could. Suddenly, a man enters and apologizes, informing them that there's a woman insisting on meeting the chief of police. The woman walks in, pleading with the chief to help her find her husband, who has been missing for some time. She says she has no idea where he could be. The chief tells her that the entire department is busy, but Judy steps in and insists on taking the case. The woman, visibly heartbroken, shows Judy a photo of her husband and begs her to find him and bring him home to his children. She tells her his name is Emmett Otterton and that he was just a simple florist. She suspects he's been kidnapped. After the woman leaves, The chief disapproves of Judy's actions, but she manages to convince him. He gives her just 48 hours to solve the case, or she must resign from the force. Judy accepts the challenge and retrieves the case file, only to find it has no clues or witnesses. However, she notices a small detail in one of the photos, an ice pop that was being sold by the sly fox. She heads off to question him. At first, the fox refuses to cooperate, but Judy threatens to arrest him for tax evasion, since he's making money without paying taxes. She secretly records his confession, forcing him to help her. The fox takes her to the last place he saw Otterton. There, they meet a receptionist who leads them to a yoga instructor named Nangi. They learn that Otterton had gotten into a car. Judy notes the license plate number and asks the fox to help her track it down. The fox takes her to someone named Flash, who eventually finds the address tied to the vehicle, but it leads them to a locked garage. The fox tells Judy the mission is over. They can't enter without a warrant. But Judy convinces him to jump over the wall with her. Inside, they find the car and begin searching it. They discover polar bear fur, an expensive juice cup, music CDs, strange markings, and scratches all over. The fox panics, realizing the car belongs to the most dangerous mob boss in the city, Mr. Big. He urges Judy to leave immediately, fearing for their lives. Suddenly, 2 polar bears appear, Mr. Big's henchmen. The fox recognizes them and is terrified. The bears escort Judy and the fox to Mr. Big himself. Judy asks what the fox did to anger him. Mr. Big replies that the fox sold him an expensive wall rug that turned out to be fake. When they arrive, Mr. Big expresses his disappointment in the fox for betraying his trust. Judy introduces herself bravely and tells him she's investigating a string of animal disappearances. Mr. Big orders his henchmen to throw them out. But just before they're removed, Mr. Big's daughter enters. It's her wedding day. She asks her father to dance with her, and she recognizes Judy. She thanks her for saving her in the street 2 days ago. Moved by his daughter's gratitude, Mr. Big decides to help Judy. He tells them that Otterton came to him for flowers, but when he returned, he had gone savage. He trashed the car and terrified the driver. Judy then decides to question the driver, who turns out to have also gone savage and suddenly attacks her. She heads off to question the driver, only to discover that he suddenly transforms into a savage beast. He lunges at her and the fox. In a moment of panic, Judy calls for backup. The police arrive quickly, along with the chief of the department. But when Judy explains what happened, they don't believe her. She insists this isn't just a case of missing animals. Something darker is at play. The animals are turning feral. But her superior dismisses her claims. It's just your imagination, he tells her. You're a rabbit. Of course, you're scared. According to him, predators no longer pose a threat. Society has evolved past that. No one believes Judy, not even after she says she has a witness. And just when things couldn't get worse, her badge is demanded, a sign of failure. She's expected to resign. But then, Nick the fox steps in. He argues that Judy still has 10 hours left to solve the case, and no one has the right to take her badge away. He pulls her aside. Judy thanks him for standing by her. That's when Nick opens up. He tells her that when he was a kid, he wanted to join the Junior Scouts. But the moment they saw he was a fox, they bullied him, drove him out. Simply because of what he was. He tells her, don't ever let anyone make you feel like less, just because you're a small bunny. He promises he's with her till the end. Together, they check the surveillance footage. What they find is shocking. A pack of wolves abducted the driver. Judy quickly connects the dots. The same wolves must have taken Mr. Otterton too. They follow the trail, tracing the wolves' vehicle, until they discover the final destination, an abandoned hospital. Inside, they make a horrifying discovery. Dozens of animals locked away. 14 of them were reported missing by the department. Suddenly, a wild beast attacks from behind a door. Judy and Nick flee, hiding in the shadows. That's when they hear voices. It's the mayor. And with him, a scientist. The doctor pleads with the mayor, saying, only predators are turning savage. We still don't know why, but the public deserves to know. It's something in their DNA. But the mayor refuses. I'm a lion, he says. If people find out, they'll be afraid of me. I'll lose everything. Judy secretly contacts the police. The authorities arrive. The savage animals are saved. And the mayor is arrested. Judy becomes a hero, praised at a press conference for her bravery. She asks Nick to join the police force, telling him he's smart, resourceful, and they need him. But when reporters question her, Judy makes a mistake. She tells them that something in predator DNA might be the reason they're going savage. Her words spark panic. The media runs with her statement. Fear spreads. Predators across the city are suddenly seen as threats. Parents keep their children close. Streets grow tense. Nick feels betrayed. He refuses to join the force or even remain friends with Judy. The trust is broken. Even Clawhauser, the kind receptionist who always believed in Judy, is removed from the front desk and transferred to records, just because he's a predator. Judy is devastated. Her words cause this. Guilt weighs heavy on her heart. And so she makes a decision. She leaves the city and returns to her village. Back to her family. Back to selling carrots. Judy looked overwhelmed with sadness and disappointment. Her family tried to lift her spirits. They told her that, thanks to her, the once bully fox who attacked her as a child had changed completely. He was now the most famous pastry chef in the village. They even worked with him and no longer feared him like they used to. The same fox came to see Judy and told her that because of her, he was able to overcome his inner struggles. He confessed that he used to feel powerful by putting others down. But now he found true strength in kindness. His success gave him confidence, and as a token of gratitude, he brought her a gift, a batch of fresh pastries. Then, a group of children approached the crops. The farmers quickly shooed them away from some flowers growing nearby, warning Judy that while the flowers repel insects, when children eat them, they become aggressive and start biting one another. That's when Judy had a sudden realization. Those same flowers must be the cause behind the predators going savage in the city. She immediately grabbed her car keys and rushed back to the city. She found Nick and asked for his help in uncovering the truth. Now that she knew the real cause of the savage behavior, poisonous flowers, she apologized for what she said before. At first, he remained silent. But when she apologized again and broke into tears, he forgave her and hugged her. They headed to the thief Judy had arrested on her first day at the police station. She asked him why he had those toxic flowers and what he was planning to do with them. He refused to answer. So Judy turned to Mr. Big, who scared the thief with death threats. Terrified, the thief confessed. He had sold the flowers to a sheep named Doug, who offered a large sum of money for them. He warned them. Doug was an aggressive sheep. Judy and Nick headed to Doug's hideout, which turned out to be an old train car. Inside, they found a lab where Doug was manufacturing a serum from the toxic flowers and using it to inject animals, turning them savage. They gathered evidence and made a run for the police station. But during the chase, Judy was shocked to discover that the current mayor, Bellwether, was already there. She asked how Bellwether had found them, and the mayor demanded the evidence bag. Judy refused and insisted she would deliver the evidence herself. She ran, but Bellwether ordered her henchmen to chase after Judy and Nick. Judy told Nick to take the evidence and rush to the station while she faced the mayor herself. Bellwether tried to convince Judy to reconsider. She claimed that predators had been oppressed for years, and now was their time to rise and take back what was theirs. Suddenly, Judy and Nick fell into a pit. Bellwether threw the serum onto Nick, hoping he would turn savage and attack Judy. She then took the evidence bag and tried to escape. As she fled, she admitted that everything that had happened was her doing, all for her own benefit. But Nick didn't transform. He had only pretended to be affected. The serum was actually just berries from his family's farm. It was a trick to get her to confess. And it worked. Nick had recorded her entire confession. The police arrived and arrested the corrupt mayor. The former mayor was released from prison and reinstated in his position. Nick joined the police force alongside Judy, who received a promotion. The city slowly returned to peace and harmony, transformed for the better, thanks to Judy's bravery and determination.